Hello and welcome back to a new IELTS Express lesson. Today we'll be analyzing another academic writing test too. Namely, we're going to have the topic of the process of making cement and then concrete. And this topic is taken from Cambridge IELTS book 8. Okay, so if you haven't watched my other videos so far, this is a step-by-step tutorial if you're aiming at band 5 at 5.5. So you're going to notice that the grammar and vocabulary is more simplistic. If you're aiming for band 6, 7, and so on, I also have other tips that can help with this one. And you can also check my website for step-by-step lessons on each module. Okay, so what you should be doing is to grab your notepad. You can take notes while you listen. Remember, you can also pause whenever you feel like. So let's get started. All right, we're going to start with understanding the task. This is what you're going to have in your exam. So the diagrams below. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up, the diagrams here are colored because I wanted to have a little bit more to be fun, not that dull. But unfortunately, in the exam is going to be black and white. All right, so let's analyze what we see, everything. This is what you should be doing the first 3 to maximum 4 minutes out of your 20 minutes. Okay, the word below here, which serves as a pointer, you don't have to use it in the summary. Below means that you're going to see the visual cue right below the topic question. Then, the next sentence, summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. You're going to find this in every single task 1. Okay, it's very important for you to read it very carefully. If you're going to take the paper-based exam, you can underline or circle the keywords to help you out. Also, it's extremely important, and this is something which is easily overlooked by a lot of candidates, to write at least 150 words. And make sure your summary meets the minimum number of words. If you're taking the computer-based, then the computer will count the words for you. If you're taking the paper-based, I wouldn't recommend you spend precious time counting the words, but what you could do and should do, well, if you really want to, is to count the words on every single line and then multiply with the number of lines. And then roughly you're going to have the number of words for the summary. Okay, and now let's have a look at the visual cue. Okay, we have 2 diagrams here, cement production and then concrete production. So basically, if you look for 30 seconds at the visual cue, you can see that the process details, the steps to make cement and then how cement is used as an ingredient in concrete manufacturing. And if you want to identify the big picture, is you have a process. The process requires initial mixing and chemical transformation of the raw materials, which are clay and limestone. And then they're followed by bagging of the finished cement. And then it's combined with other materials to form concrete. It's also very important for you to pay attention at the labels of the pictures because you'll use them in the summary. And also to look at the relationship between diagrams. Also, don't worry if you have words which you don't understand because I'm going to use this one because everything is going to be explained for you. Yeah, there's a little asterisk over there, gravel, small stone. So don't panic. I don't know what this word means. Everything is going to be explained for you. All right, so we have analyzed. I didn't spend 3 minutes. I spent around 2, but see, you can do it in less time. All you have to do is to practice everything. Okay, so let's have a look at our summary. Again, if you have watched my videos, you're going to notice that I recommend the 4-paragraph summary: introduction, overview, paragraph 1 and paragraph 2, or the 12-sentence summary. 1 to sentence for introduction, 1 to for overview, and if my math is correct, 4 for each paragraph, which is 8 plus 4 is 12. Nothing that complicated, but again, you need to practice. Yeah, everything comes with practice, and when you actually go to the exam, you know exactly what you have to do. So we're going to start with the introduction. We're going to have a model answer. Remember, it's for band 5 and 5.5. You have to introduce the topic of the visual cue, And it would be a very good idea for you to paraphrase the original sentence, because if you show the examiner that you can paraphrase, you're going to get extra points for vocabulary. Also, don't change the name of the chart. Keep it with diagrams. It's very important you keep it like this. Or if they don't give you a very specific name of the chart, give the specific name of the chart. Okay? Like bar chart, pie chart, line graph, so on and so forth. As you can see, it's a one sentence long, nothing too complicated, right? Okay, for the overview, as I said, you need to identify the big picture to have a bird's eye view. You start your overview with the word overall, because again, you're going to give the examiner, you're going to show that actually you have identified the main stages of this process. You can write your overview right after the introduction, or you can write it at the end of the summary, right after the paragraph. This is why some people call it a conclusion. However, it is mandatory to write an overview if you want to get band 5. All right? And in your overview, be it line graph, bar chart, pie chart, whatever, you need to include the most important information or the main trends. When we're talking about a diagram or process, the overview should contain the main stages or steps. And here we have a one sentence overview. Okay, this is the most difficult part, so to say, paraphrasing and then writing the overview. We're moving on to the first paragraph. As you can see, the first paragraph deals with the first diagram. And again, don't forget to signpost, meaning the first diagram shows. And then you start writing in more details about what you see in the first diagram. Don't forget to use sequence connectors, because this will tell the examiner that you can sequence and you have understood which stage is first and which stage is the second, and so on. Don't forget to include the labels in the diagram, cement, gravel, whatever you might have. Again, this shows the examiner that you can identify the important bits of the diagram. And in terms of grammar, use passive voice, because whenever we're talking about processes or diagrams, the processes are man-made. The concrete one produce itself. And here we have a 3-sentence paragraph. Nothing too complicated, right? Okay, moving on to the second paragraph. Again, I am signposting this, that this is about the second paragraph, and this way your summary is going to be easy to follow and coherent. Okay, so this is about the second paragraph. Okay, I also use passive voice because even though it's a second diagram is still talking about the man-made process, can be used, is used for housing. And also don't forget to use labels and numbers and percentages from the label, from the diagram. All right. The data is also very important, yeah, if you use it. And there is another thing, relative clauses, yeah, which is used for housing and building projects. So whenever we're dealing with processes or diagrams, you need to know 3 things: connectors for sequencing, passive voice, and relative clauses. That simple. This is a sample of summary aiming at band 5, band 5.5. As you can see, the vocabulary is quite simplistic. Yeah. In order for you to get a higher band, you need to upgrade both your vocabulary and to make use of the information from the diagram to include more details. And this will definitely give you a higher score. But for now, this is what you need if you want band 5 or band 0.5. And we are done in under 10 minutes, actually 9 minutes 36. There you go. So I do hope you have liked this lesson. If there are any questions or if you need any more help with diagrams or processes, please feel free to write your questions or suggestions in the comment section. And I would really appreciate if you can give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you found this useful or anything that might help this channel grow. Until next time, take care of yourself and don't forget to practice your English. Bye bye.